YouTube Beggar, starring Austin Tomargo, and a lot of begging, written and directed by Mr. Chips.
Disclaimer: while we fully support creative crowdfunding, side hustles, and the occasional splurge on avocado toast, there's something to be said for the age-old art of getting a job. It's a time-tested formula for financial stability, personal growth, and impressing your mom. So, before you dive into a full-time career of online pleas for cash, maybe consider adding a bit of gainful employment to your resume. Your future self, and probably your followers, will thank you.
Austin Tomargo was a name whispered in the depths of the internet, not out of admiration, but out of sheer disbelief. Every day, without fail, he'd sit in front of his worn-out camera, pleading to his dwindling audience, voice cracking with a concoction of desperation and entitlement. His YouTube channel, meant to showcase vlogs, had devolved into nothing more than an endless parade of digital panhandling. "Hey guys, it's Austin again," he'd start, as if they didn't already know. "You know, times are tough. I'm really short on rent this month. I know I just asked for food money last week, but man, it's rough out here. If you could spare anything, even $1 helps." Behind him, you could always spot his girlfriend, Britton, lounging on the torn-up couch, her phone constantly in hand. Sometimes she'd chip in with a half-hearted plea of her own. "Yeah, rent's due soon. And you know we need new shoes, too. I can't wear these busted-up sneakers anymore. Help us out if you can." It was always something. Rent, shoes, socks. Hell, Austin once even posted a video titled, "I Need Money for Toothpaste." There was no shame, no bottom to the pit of his endless begging. What made it even more pathetic wasn't just the constant requests for the most basic things in life, but the fact that he wasn't in any real trouble. Austin wasn't living on the street, he wasn't starving. He simply refused to work, convinced that his YouTube fame was right around the corner, that any day now the big sponsors would come knocking and he'd be rich. But until then, his viewers, what few remained, were there to bankroll his lazy life. His parents had long since given up on him. They'd tried in the beginning to push him toward a real job, to get him off his ass and into the world, but Austin had always been stubborn, convinced he was too good for manual labor, too special for a regular 9-to-5. "You're a disappointment," his father had spat the last time they spoke, the words heavy with years of frustration. His mother, exhausted from years of coddling him, had stopped talking altogether, simply shaking her head any time his name came up. Austin didn't care, though. He had Britton, and that was all that mattered. She encouraged his begging, saw nothing wrong with riding the wave of online sympathy as long as it kept the bills paid. They were a perfect pair, two parasites feeding off the naive kindness of strangers. In one particularly embarrassing video, they sat side by side, the camera zoomed in too close, showing every unflattering detail of their slack, lifeless expressions. "Hey guys, we're like, super behind on our phone bill," Britton chimed in, her voice flat as she played with her hair. "Can't make any more videos without it. So, if you could, help us out." She smiled weakly, though her eyes betrayed no emotion. They had become a joke on YouTube, the butt of every punchline, the subjects of countless reaction videos mocking their constant e-begging. And yet Austin was oblivious, or worse, indifferent. The comments section of every video told the same story. "Get a job." "Pathetic." "Stop begging." But Austin had stopped reading the comments a long time ago. To him, they were just haters who didn't understand the grind, didn't get how hard it was to make it on YouTube. He wasn't begging, he told himself. He was hustling. And Britton was right there with him, nodding along to his delusions, happy to encourage his laziness as long as the cash kept trickling in. The sad reality was, Austin and Britton weren't some tragic, downtrodden couple just trying to make it through hard times. No, they were the epitome of entitlement, believing the world owed them something just for existing. They didn't want to work, didn't want to contribute. They just wanted to sit in front of a camera, moaning about their struggles, and have people throw money at them out of pity. It was a hustle, all right, but it wasn't the kind Austin thought it was. It was a hustle built on laziness, on exploiting the goodwill of strangers for things as trivial as new socks and toothpaste. As the months dragged on, the donations slowed to a trickle, the views dropped, and yet Austin remained steadfast, still convinced his big break was coming, that any day now his endless begging would pay off. But for everyone else watching, the story was clear. Austin Tamargo wasn't a YouTube sensation. He was just another loser on the internet, a man who had spent so long begging for handouts that he had forgotten how to stand on his own 2 feet.
This is a message to all the haters out there. If you don't like what I do, but you watch everything I'm doing, you're still a fan.